Good morning. It is Tuesday, May 24th, which makes it 90 days out from Monday, August 22nd. Always talking about 90 days. Always focused on the opportunity for income, for revenue, GCI, whatever you want to call it. Ultimately, the GCI check is cool. That's a start. Our average is about 10,250. And ultimately, if you're in pre-cap status, there's still a Kaylee conversation to have. There's still a Gary conversation to have, and then there's still a Washington conversation to have. So, let's just talk about profit, right? Let's go there, and let's have a conversation about other ways that we can create income. We're going to get to that in a second because I do want to have that conversation today about Gary's math and how maybe it's changed even a little bit more. It's some numbers he gave us back at Family Reunion in New Orleans a handful of years ago, and I don't think we talk. I mean, I talk about it quite a bit. I just don't think we talk about controlling our money enough, because I do think that we historically get paid, pay bills, hopefully sock a little bit of away, but we can be more purposeful. That is always good for everybody. So we'll get to that in just a second. So good morning. Today's schedule, we are heading out of here. We are heading right into Ignite. That's at 9 o'clock. That is at timsoffice.com. We're on session 14 of 20 sessions. This is a brand new Ignite. So the content has been enhanced, although it is what you remember for the most part, although it's always great to revisit. A reminder from Gary. Ignite is for anyone who has done, in the last 12 months, 16 transactions or fewer should be in Ignite. And not that you're going to step into Ignite today and walk out of Ignite and then suddenly become a whole new person. Just some of the things that you heard once way back when, maybe, if you were actively participating in the class, if you were asking questions, if you were doing the activities, if you were doing the work between the work. And this is where I think a lot of people get lost. People will go and they will attend Ignite. The meat on the bone of Ignite is when you are leaning into the activities between sessions. It's what you did yesterday at 11 o'clock up until whenever you finish doing your lead generation or your lead follow-up or going on appointments and negotiating contracts or scripting and role-playing. So the importance of making sure that you are in Ignite, we focus on 10 conversations. In Bold, we focus on 20. Conversations, not dials, not voicemails, not, I meant to call them. Conversations where the opportunity to ask for help in and around our business comes up. That's so wildly important. So for Ignite, we're talking about 10. Bold, we're talking about 20. And Gary right now would encourage you to double down, if not triple down. That seems like a lot. Welcome. It is. And there's a lot of people that are starting to pump the brakes just a little bit because they're about to go on vacation. Because vacation season hits, I'll say, Friday morning. A lot of people going away for Memorial Day weekend. People typically travel on Thursday, the pre-weekend. And then the weekend's going to start Friday morning. If you're an agent that doesn't have a closing on Friday, you might be taking the day off. And you're well within your rights to do so. And if you're going to do that, are we going to be more purposeful today? That's the question. So Ignite. We are talking about winning the buyer today. Tomorrow is winning the seller, and so forth and so on. The 20 sessions are going to wrap up next week. We are going to do our final sessions next week because obviously we'll do Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Monday is a holiday, Memorial Day observed. The office will be closed. And Thursday is Red Day 2.0. So it's going to be Bridge Day. Red Day 2.0. We're going to finish the bridge at the Portsmouth campus. So we will wrap up sessions 18, 19, and 20 next Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday for Ignite 6.0. Conversations and script practice. If you are having challenges, if you're running into objections that you're struggling with, if you're just looking for some direction on the conversations you are or aren't having, we're doing that every Tuesday at 11 o'clock. That's today at 11 o'clock on Keller TV. So we'll be doing conversations and script practice. Just bring your questions, bring your concerns. Let's role play. Let's get the words comfortable for you so you're more comfortable to pick up the phone, talk to the people that you know and love and trust, and offer value. And then at 12:30, we do have an online opportunity for Where Does the Water Come From? It's all about water wells. That's at 12:30. That's on Keller TV. And then 1 o'clock, Spring into Action. agent-created collections in command. Spring into action, agent-created collections in command, and that will be on KW Connect. So let's talk about the opportunity for us to get a better handle on our money right now. When Gary had us in New Orleans at family reunion, and I forget what year this was. This is probably 3 or 4 years ago. It was probably the year before Dallas. So if Dallas was February 2020, it was probably February 2019. And Gary offered up this math. It's minus 25 times 2. Minus 25 times 2. And what did he mean by that? The minus 25% is, ask yourself, and this is valid right now. You know, if you're feeling a little dangerous a few months ago, maybe not so much. But it's very valid right now, and this is for everyone to do within their business and their personal expenses. Minus 25%. What in your business or what in your personal life, if you needed to, could you cut tomorrow? Can you identify 25% of your spending in both business and personal that if you needed to eliminate it tomorrow because something came up, you could? Now, if you're able to identify these things, because you're saying, well, if I had to, I could get rid of that tomorrow, then Gary and we encourage you to do it today. And it's about looking at these numbers frequently. You know, like do you things that we have that we love that we could live without, right? So luxury, I mean, let's call them not necessities, but luxury expenses. A necessity right now, as I look out the window over at Gino's and the other gas station further down at the, is it Citgo's, the next one over? Sunoco and Citgo side by side. So I just filled up. It was 70. This is in my Ford Fusion, by the way. It's like $72. I have a 16-gallon tank. It's $4.69 here on Lafayette and Portsmouth. That's a necessity. You got to get back and forth from work. When I get back in my car, am I going to Dunkin' Donuts and getting the latte? Am I going to Starbucks and getting the latte? Maybe you are. Maybe that's a necessity for you. Or is it a luxury? Do you need the large? Do you need it every day? Could you get every other day? Because those things add up. We joke about it all the time. Zoe and I were just joking about this in Ignite a couple weeks ago. You run that app called Mint, and they give you the circle. And in that circle, it gives you the breakdown of where your expenses are, and you get a report, you get a push notification every week. And when that circle comes up, and all of the pieces of pie in your pie chart of your financial circle for the week, the big, huge one that's green is Starbucks, and you're like, wow, of all the money I spent this week. Gas is a pretty big sliver of the pie right now. Starbucks is, as I'm spending as much at Starbucks as I did on my gas tank. I'm fueling myself and my car with lattes and gas equally. Where can you make some changes? Think about all of the stuff that you have connected to your phone. Are there apps on your phone that you signed up for? You're like, this would be good. I'm going to do this. During COVID, did you buy gym equipment for the house? And you have that. You own that. And per the excitement of getting back out of the house and going to the gym, you signed up for the gym. But you're not really going back to the gym. You just felt excited about going to the gym. And there's some hyper reasonable ones. If you've been a Black Card member forever, it's $19.99. And maybe you go just enough that you justify keeping it. But some of these other gyms, depending, Orange Theory, $160, $175 a month. If you're not going, is that worth freezing? Is that worth shutting off? All of the added expenses you have on your television. What are you watching? Did you get Paramount Plus? People are like, there's a Paramount Plus. There's a Paramount Plus. Did you get Discovery Plus because you wanted to see Joanna Gaines? which is now actually back on cable because Magnolia is a thing now? Do you have Hulu Plus Plus? And you're like, oh my God, do we have Hulu? Maybe we do. Are we paying extra for Hulu Plus Plus? I don't know. Are you? Here's why Gary wants us to do this. Here's why Gary wants us to examine the 25% in our business and our spending. We haven't got to business yet. I'm picking on you. I'm picking on your personal. And this is a conversation my wife and I have all the time. There's stuff we can get rid of. 1,000%. In your business, what are you paying for that you're not seeing results for? We talk about this in the business planning clinic. We're going to do this on June 30th. Thursday, June 30th. We'll be here in Portsmouth. We'll also be online. We're doing a full day, good old-fashioned millionaire real estate agent business planning clinic on June 30th because that is halftime. It is the 15th protocol. We can't talk about how the year went at the end of the year. We can examine how the year is going on June 30th at halftime. So we're doing a June 30th business planning clinic, Thursday, June 30th, here in Portsmouth in person, and it will be hybrid. So you'll be able to do it from the comfort of your couch. And in that conversation, we talk about red light, green light. We talk about leading with revenue. Are you spending your money from before you became an agent to try to pay for this business? Or are you doing what you know needs to be done, the real work, to create business, to generate revenue that you can then take some of to pour back into your business? And is there spending in your business that you're doing right now? Are there expenses in your business you're creating right now that you're not seeing a return on? And you're damn right I'm going to pick on the aggregators. Now, here's the thing. People are going to push back. Well, Timmy, I'm working with aggregators. Everyone does. Can't say everyone because not everyone does. Almost every agent is working with some sort of an aggregator. Almost. I'm not going to throw it half or 72%, but don't tell me every agent uses an aggregator because there's some agents that pride themselves on not. And there's no judgment here. This is for each individual set of ears to investigate for themselves. The check you're sending to your friend at Billo, and they're promising you leads. And you're getting leads. Are you getting the leads they talked to you about based on the conversation you had way back when? Have you run the math on what's actually happening? And I don't know if the algorithm has changed again, but the way our friends at Billo made sure they could remain profitable was to change the percentiles. So when you were on the phone with them and you were calling, and I trust most people around here are calling for zip codes around here, one of my first concerns about using aggregators is you're going to call and ask another company to charge you money to give you numbers that may already be in your telephone. Just think about that. Because when Billo sends you a list of names and one of them is your sister, you can't get mad at Billo. Let's be clear about that. So you send this check off to Billo because they told you that you're going to have 25% of Portsmouth. And they may have changed the numbers again and not in your favor. Way back when, 25% of Portsmouth meant you were going to get 1 in 4 leads. Makes sense, right? What they fail to tell you now, if you're in conversation with them, and here's a good reason why you should call them and have a clarifying conversation. And I'm picking on them right now, and this goes for all of them. Are they being disingenuous? Because if you don't know to ask and you call Billo today and you ask for 25%, they offer you, oh my God, Mr. Lindsay, great timing, 20% of Dover just freed up. That is not every fifth lead in Dover. That is every 15th lead in Dover. Billo has created a 300th percentile to quote-unquote split their stock. Now, maybe you're seeing a phenomenal return. And if this sentence passes your lips to my ears, I'm going to ask you to go home and heat up a bag of nickels and hit yourself in the face until you can't feel feels. If you say to me in a business conversation, well, Timmy, as long as I close a couple, it pays for itself, go to Kohl's and fold T-shirts. We're not here to break even. This isn't a bad weekend at the track betting on the ponies. She's a mutta. That's not what we're doing here. We're here to be profitable. And at the very least, 3x. Which means 4x return. If I put $100 in, I get 400 back. I paid my expense on my investment. I got return to cover my expense and 3x profitability. Well, nobody sees that. You should be working on that, because when we run the math on what your business should look like, if you're going to hold still to what your business should look like, for every dollar that comes in, it goes 30, 30, 40. 30% goes towards expenses. 30% goes towards cost of sale. If you are a growing agent in your freshman year, right now that is when you pay Gary and Kaylee. Your company dollar and your international royalty fee is your initial cost of sale as an agent with Keller Williams. After that, it's any money you spend to generate a lead or a sale is a cost of sale. Expenses are salaries. Expenses are anything else that goes into making your business run, because you got to keep the lights on, buy more pens, rent your desk. 40% is your profit. 30, 30, 40. But the 40%, wait a minute, 40% still has to talk to Washington. Huh. $30, 30, 40. So if your aggregators are not being truthful with you, if your aggregators are not holding up their end of the deal, if your aggregator promised you 15 leads a month and last month you got 5, it's time for a phone call. Not a terse email, a phone call. What do I know? I know that you guys can curb expenses faster than you can create revenue. Write that down. If you're driving, etch it across your heart and your ears. You can curb and cut expenses faster than you can create revenue. And some of you can grab the horn today, and you have the tenacity and the talent to create a lead at will. You can get to a kitchen table in the next 24 hours, and I love that about you. And if you're going to do that today, Godspeed. In the next hour, in the next 2 hours, or after you do lead generation, can you contact all the companies you're doing business with? And I mean business and personal business. You're a client of theirs. You can call and negotiate. You can shut it off. One of the wisest things that you can do for your business expenses is tie them to a card that you can cancel. Because if you don't have an appropriate conversation with one of your business partners, cancel the card. Be very wary if they're like, no, we need to attach it right to your checking account. Yikes. Put them on a card. Know that you can pull the plug. You're in control of the conversation. You're the customer. Minus 25%. And analyze this on a regular basis. Visit your money weekly. Make sure you're getting a return on investment. Make sure you're seeing 3x. Well, I'm seeing 2x. Well, that's better than 1x. If you're just covering your expenses, that is not profitable. And the reason everyone's leaving their house and driving away from their loved ones today is to go be profitable. This is not Peace Corps. We are in this for profitability. This is why you run a business, to be profitable, to create financial opportunity for yourself, your loved ones, and others, should you choose to engage and adopt more talent to your team for leverage. Nobody ever said, I just got into this because, and you guys say this, but it stops somewhere. I just got into this, Timmy. I love people and I love houses and just putting people in houses. Oh, I don't need any money for that. Yes, you do. 1,000% here to be profitable. Now, what's the times 2? It's about doubling down on your lead gen. Doubling down on your lead gen. Let's be clear about what lead generation is. Lead generation is to create a contact. Contacts turn into appointments. Lead generation is to create a contact. I'm calling Stacy to find out if she knows Julie. I'm calling my friend Stacy, not necessarily to see if she's looking to buy, sell, or invest. Because if I'm close enough with her, if she's one of my people, if she's part of my Mets, the people that I know and love and trust, I have a good idea where Stacy and Ted are at in their life. I want to know if Stacy and Ted know another couple, another individual that I can help, that I can serve. Who do you know that I should know? Who do you know that we can help? What do you mean by that, Tim? Well, we're looking for listings for our buyers for our listings, and talent for our team. Because if they're going to buy, sell, invest, or maybe join real estate. Because if you've looked around recently, not everyone's thrilled with their career path. After COVID, I didn't come up with a name, but I told you guys a couple years ago, I said there's going to be a Q3, Q4 exit. And it happened. The Great Resignation. People making different life choices. Like, this is not how I want this to go. I'm gonna work from home. I'm gonna start my own business. I'm gonna make my passion project and my side hustle my main thing. I'm gonna take control of my life. Because a lot of people realized, I thought I loved Liberty Mutual. What I realized is my interpersonal relationships at the office, they were what made me love Liberty Mutual. My actual jobbity job, my actual role at the company, not so much. Because I've gone back to the office, and a lot of people have chosen not to, opted out, or moved on. And without my people there, it's not the same vibe. I'm out. Every conversation is to create the opportunity for us to be able to ask for help, to assist somebody selling their home, buying a home, and a sale turns into a buy, unless they're moving into the woods, sometimes, an investment property, or somebody coming to play with us here at the KWCLM show, which is also passive income, also financial opportunity for your people. So you're going to double down. Is your Ignite 10 now 20? Is your Bold 20 now 40? Gary said at family reunion in Florida, triple down. We talked about it yesterday. Zoe and I mentioned it yesterday morning. There's people putting their feet up for the summer. No judgment. Their kids are home from school. They historically and typically put their feet up for the summer. They'll be back after Labor Day. Or agents are just behaving the way they do. We have to behave for the market that is yet to come, not for the one that we're currently in, or the one that it happened last summer. It's going to happen again. No, it's not. Trends repeat themselves. Identical markets don't repeat themselves. And if you're underwhelmed by your pipeline, if you're underwhelmed by your lack of a closing today, what were you doing 90 days ago? Gary Keller, show me your schedule. I'll show you your future. Gary Keller, you can be anywhere you want to be in 5 years. And I say this to you guys all the time. I adore you. I'm not worried about you. I'm concerned for the loved ones behind you that are subject to whatever you choose to do or not do today. And you should be too. Are you excited about your schedule? Are you interested in real estate or committed to real estate? A lot of companies way back when, I know my sisters would go with my dad into Raytheon. I don't believe unless I was really young, and I doubt it. I don't think I ever made a trip to Raytheon with my dad. He worked there for 48 years. Bring your kid to work day, right? Some companies still might do it. Some companies do it every day. Did you do that? Do you remember not understanding what your parents did? If you have a young one at home, if you have an impressionable middle schooler, junior high student, high school student, your spouse or partner, if they did a ride along with you today, would they be impressed or would they be concerned? Would your video today reflect the audio you tell them every night of how busy you are? Busy is one of the words we should never use. It's a story we tell ourselves, and then we go and search for the evidence to defend that story. We say it to others. Oh, so busy. Are you? Or are you going to be productive today? Oh, here goes Timmy with the semantics. Yup. Yes. Words matter. The words we share with others matter. The story we're telling ourselves, does the audio that I'm going to tell myself today, will it match my video? Now, I'm fortunate enough that I have a get out of jail free card with you guys. You make my schedule. Meetwithcoach.com. You fill my schedule. There's responsibility that goes with that. I've got to show up for those appointments. I'm going down the hall right now because it's 9 o'clock to teach Ignite. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm proud of my schedule. I'm proud of the people I work with. I'm proud of what I'm going to do today. Minus 25 times 2. What personal and business expenses can you cut today? Can you hold those expenses accountable? Are your business partners, are your aggregators really showing up for the money that you're sending them? And will you double down on your conversations? Will Ignite's 10 become 20? Will Bold's 20 become 40? Are you interested in real estate or committed? If we can help you move the ball down the field with your marketing, you can reach out to Time with Babs, B-A-B-S, timewithbabs.com. Alana Babineau, her entire suite of services is available at KWCLMmarketing.com. You need transactional help. You want to take that functionary off your desk so you can get back to the fiduciary for your clients? You're reaching out to Jason Hull. He is TC at Fulcrum TS, Fulcrumts, TC at fulcrumts.com. For all your closing needs. Contract to close with Jason. And if I can help, it's meetwithcoach.com or 603-834-2856. We're here for you. You need your brokers, you're looking for Jen Vashon, you're calling Jason Westcott. 603-234-2589. Anything you need, we're here for you. You've got an army here to fight for you. Are you willing to fight for you? That's the question.